Hi, I'm Robin Silverman, and this is my new book, Feathers, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about Fullistic living. Fullistic living is the intersection of three sciences: noetic science, energetics, and quantum physics. Many of you may know quantum physics because in some circles it's also known as the law of attraction. The idea is that when you observe something, you're giving it energy and you tend to animate it and bring it closer to you. But the thing is, if the law of attraction was all that was needed to make life work, then the universe would be like a cosmic gumball machine and everybody would win the lottery and nobody would ever get sick. So I've been studying energy in multiple dimensions for over 25 years now, and I've been teaching workshops and writing stories and sharing people's real life experiences. And in the end, I discovered that there are really more than one reason why life works the way it does. So quantum physics certainly is part of it. Noetic science is the science of consciousness. It's the science that looks at, you might call it universality or oneness. It's when we know we're connected to something larger than ourselves. And so what happens is sometimes you'll have an epiphany or just this feeling of peace wash through you, and you'll say, I just feel so good right now. I feel at peace. I feel as if I'm floating, or I'm loved, or I just have the right answer. And the noetic science research that's being done is exploring that. How does that happen? How is information transferred from person to person when you're not near each other? Those kinds of things. Energetics is the science of how energy comes through us, through our physical bodies. So for instance, you're sitting in your office and you just get the sense of somebody coming down the hall. Or you say, that person has good vibes or bad vibes, and you can kind of pick up on it. Well, of course, we consume calories, which are units of energy. And of course, many of us realize that that gives off heat in our bodies. But also, the energy we're putting out has a character, a tone, a nature. And what happens, of course, when you're in companies and places where groups gather, a lot of similar energy comes together and you start to see the impact of that. So these three sciences together form Fullistics. And again, you don't really need to know anything about them in order to benefit from Feathers and how it'll work for you. So basically the idea is that if you're having a day where you tend to be a lot in your head, or things aren't going the way you like, or you're going to be working with a client you don't particularly like, or your kids are crying, or something just isn't working the way you want it to, all you have to do is say, which feather will help me now, open the book at random, and then boop, up will pop a little idea that you can do in under 1 minute. So if you don't have time to meditate, and I do like meditation, and I do think it's a fantastic thing when you can do it, but the point is, many of us don't during busy days. So you pick out your feather, read it. It doesn't matter which one you get. People say, well, what's the right one? I want to make sure I match it up right. There's no table of contents in this book. And the reason for that is that you don't want your conscious thinking mind overriding what is meant to come through you at that moment. Read the feather, do it. Much of it, many of these are done in your imagination, so you don't need any special equipment, or you don't have to leave, you don't have to, do anything different in order to make them work for you. What'll happen is three things. Number one is that you'll distract yourself from the negative thinking. So poof, that goes away, and you'll start to feel better. That's the second thing, is that physically, when you are not beating yourself up with thoughts about what you should be doing or what you ought to be doing, your physical body will feel a little bit better. But then the best part are the surprises that are likely to come, because again, when you are not pushing away all the positive things in your life, what happens is the guard comes down, the energy comes through, and ta-da, the thing that you were waiting for shows up. So it could be the person you needed to speak to, or the email that you were waiting for, or the idea that you've been searching for all of a sudden pops in your head, because again, you're no longer covering it. So welcome to Fullistic Living. Please enjoy the website. If you have the time, join our Facebook family. We're going to be sharing ideas on additional feathers there. And then also, if I can answer any questions about Fullistic, my contact information is here on the site. Welcome. Glad you're here.